Scott Cedillo in his mastering suite. This is the 5.1 mastering suite, right?
That's correct. Actually, this is kind of a common suite in that any particular engineer who has a multi-channel project would come in and use this room, much like the cutting room for vinyl is shared among the engineers. Right. And so this room can handle 5.1 as well as normal stereo. Similar design to our standard stereo consoles, but with the flip of a switch, it becomes a multi-channel console. And we've got quite a number of computer workstations because the wild world of multi-channel, there's a plethora of formats and standards and application softwares that's used. So we've got Pro Tools HD, Audio Cube, Sonic Solutions, I think a few other things in here.
Pretty much whatever works for the situation.
Pretty much. You have to be very adaptable.
Right.
And so consequently, a lot of our tried and true devices like our EQs and limiters and such are here all the time, but almost every project requires some particular piece of equipment to come in. So we found it wasn't really worthwhile to have every device known to man in here all the time. And so in fact, one thing we're doing that's kind of interesting, maybe they were talking about it, you could have seen it in the cutting room, we're doing these Everest catalog reissues for classic records.
Right, I saw they were, he's doing it with the tape decks, right?
Well, it's 35mm mag, 3-track, which was recorded in the 50s.
Right.
And so, ignoring the problems of restoring the tape and coming up with special gadgets to make it play at all, they're doing 2-track fold down in the cutting room, cutting vinyl from the 3-track, so they're folding it down to 2.0, as well as doing high-res digital capture in stereo domain and a 1644 capture in the stereo as well. Simultaneous to that, while Bernie's cutting that in there, I'm in this room receiving the left, center, right channels and EQing for multi-channel capture. Wow. So that it can be released on DVD-A or SACD or whichever format they prefer to do.
So they can send a signal from the vinyl room into here for you to do what you do, or how are they sending that?
Well, we've got analog lines that we temporarily run into here, so it's kind of a simultaneous feed. So I can't remember the count. It's something like 12 transports kick in at one time. And it's very un-high tech. We basically yell go, and I've got an audio cube capturing 3.0 basically LCR, as well as a 3-track half-inch analog deck, because, well, many people would argue the point, but we still feel that analog is probably the best archival media still, because you can we play 50, 60-year-old tapes all the time, but sometimes it's hard pressed to play a digital master that's only 4 years old.
Yeah.
So
it's challenging, and I mean, obviously 3.0 isn't something you normally deal with, or the impression I got was that it's not something that normally comes in on a regular basis, or maybe now might be, but
not really. No, I mean, it's pretty unique. I mean, you're talking about stuff that was done in the 50s and never really probably intended to be released LCR. But a lot of jazz recordings were recorded that way. A lot of Miles Davis was stereo with a center. Well, maybe it isn't really a center channel, but a third channel where the soloist would have been. Okay. And then in the day they would have probably mixed those to mono.
Down to mono.
Yeah, but then today we have the option of presenting it as an LCR.
So now you can do a DVD where you put the DVD audio in, you've got the rest of the group over here, and you have that soloist coming out center. So you can actually hear that the way they meant for that to be. Maybe not meant for it to be heard, but the way they recorded it, so they could bring that out a little bit.
Absolutely, and the resolution and fidelity is quite, even with our fancy equipment that we design, and we like it. Oh, yeah. But even comparing our 2.0 mix compared to the separated LCR, there's no comparison.
No.
It's there's just so much more clarity, and everything sounds right. And I think what a lot of people do when they release for 5.1 is they'll actually mix a little bit of added reverb in the surrounds. Yeah. I think mainly to kind of let people feel like they're getting their money's worth from their 5.1 system, but LCR actually sounds quite good, just as is, if it's recorded well.
Oh, well, again, great. Thank you so much for talking to us. I
welcome.
really appreciate it. And we're going to see more from Bernie Grundman Mastering on the website, but now we're going to head over to Ocean Way and check out what's over there.